Hello everyone, welcome back to another Project Gladiator weather forecast. Today I'll be covering the weather for August 31st of 2023. And currently, after Hurricane Idalia has passed, we don't really have a severe potential for Florida or into the southern coast states anymore. However, with Hurricane Idalia somewhere out in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of North Carolina, we still do have a little bit of a threat for storm surge and tropical storm-like conditions along the coast of North Carolina. So do keep that in mind if you have any plans out in North Carolina, out across the eastern North Carolina region. But overall for today, as far as severe weather goes, it's going to be pretty calm after Hurricane Idalia. We do have this marginal threat for Arizona into the Las Vegas area, and that's pretty much it for today. But as for our threats, all we really have is a 5% wind threat, so not too bad for today. Taking a look at our 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, as I did mention, a tropical storm Idalia is still out in the Atlantic Ocean, leading to some tropical storm-like conditions across eastern North Carolina. But we also do have Hurricane Franklin here, which is still ongoing, but is tracking northeast. So it is not going to pose a threat to the United States, and it didn't pose a threat to the United States the last couple of days. And we do have these few areas of disturbance, and we do have Tropical Storm Jose, which is not expected to last very long. If we take a look at the warning cone here, it is expected to be very, very short. However, we did have a few areas, a few disturbances out in the Atlantic Ocean. We do have this one 80% over the next 7 days, and we do have this 20% and this 30%. These are not going to pose a threat to the United States. So far as it seems, they do not look like they are going to pose all that much of a threat to the United States, but we will continue to monitor them over the next couple of days. But overall, it does not look like we have a upcoming threat so far as tropical weather goes for the United States in the next 7 days. Taking a look at a radar Omega model, starting off with our 500 millibars like we usually do, focusing on the marginal threat for Arizona into the Las Vegas area, you can see that we do have a very weak shortwave trough coupled together with this low pressure trough that is expected to be lingering across northern California. This is expected to sort of sit here over the next couple of days, so we could see the possibility of it triggering severe weather the next couple of days as it just sits here, mainly across Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and possibly parts of California. But we will definitely take a look at that over the next couple of days as it sits there. But as for today, we do have this weak shortwave trough here, as well as a little bit of mid-level flow that could be helping trigger severe weather development with this low pressure system across northern California. So overall, we don't really have all that much of a strong severe threat. But overall, this shortwave trough isn't going to be too strong, but it should definitely allow for a damaging wind threat at least. Taking a look at our dew points, we are expected to have some fairly strong dew points because of this gulf here between Baja California and Mexico. I'm not really sure what this gulf is called. However, with the shortwave trough that is expected to be moving westward out of Mexico and parts of New Mexico, it is expected to pull a little bit of moisture out of that gulf, as well as this low pressure system with a deep trough over a large portion of the western United States. This could also pull a little bit of that moisture out of that gulf there, which will definitely lead to increased dew points across the Las Vegas into southern and eastern California, as well as southern Arizona, leading to some instability across this marginal threat region. However, overall, it's not going to be too strong. These dew points are going to be mostly in the 50s range to upper 60s range. That will still definitely lead to the possibility of some fairly strong instability. However, it isn't going to be nearly as strong as what we've been seeing the last couple of days, especially with last week with that high pressure system and the extreme amounts of instability that we had. It's not going to be like that, but we should definitely see some moderate instability across Arizona into Las Vegas. Taking a look at our temperatures for the marginal threat region, you can see that we are expected to have some fairly strong temperatures. It is going to be fairly hot across this region, as what would typically be expected this time of year across this region, across Arizona and Southern California. and this will definitely lead to the possibility of some fairly strong instability with the dew points that we have, possibly bumping up those instability values a little bit higher than what would typically be expected with the dew points that we have. But overall, if you do live in this region where we are expected to have these insane temperatures, another place where we are expected to have these insane temperatures that isn't so seasonal is going to be across Texas. We are expected to see temperatures that are going to be getting into the hundreds, especially across southern Texas. However, we can see that we are expected to have some temperatures that are going to get into 100 across central Texas. If you do live in any of these regions where we are expected to have these intense temperatures, please make sure you are definitely watching out for any heat-related illnesses such as heat stroke, as well as make sure you are definitely staying hydrated if you are having any plans outside, which I don't really recommend in these intense temperatures. But if you do have any plans outside, do make sure that you are definitely staying hydrated, as it will definitely be needed if you live in any of these regions. But overall, as far as instability goes, this could increase our instability a little bit with the dew points that we have. Taking a look at our instability, as I mentioned, the dew points that we had weren't really going to give us crazy strong instability. However, we are expected to have some Cape values that are going to be fairly strong, which will support the possibility of damaging winds, with a Cape that is going to be getting into the widespread 1000s to the low 2000s, and possibly getting into the 3000s across a small portion of southern Arizona. However, overall widespread, we are expected to have much more moderate instability, which will support the possibility of damaging winds, but without a strong jet stream or anything to really increase shear, we aren't really expected to see the possibility of hail or the possibility of tornadoes across this region. But with the instability that we have, again, we do have the threat for damaging winds. Now that I've told you the weather, please go down to the description and check out the socials for Project Gladiator and join the Discord for any updates on Project Gladiator. And if you live in any of the areas that I covered for severe weather for today, please stay weather alert for the time being, and hopefully I will be able to see you guys tomorrow with another forecast.